We talked about how fraud can happen and what to look out for. We talked about what you can do to protect your information online. And thirdly, we talked about things that you can do if you find yourself a victim or if you want to take more precautions. Hey my Sky Savers, welcome back to my channel, or if you're new here, welcome. I'm Kim and this is World of Sky, a world for women and moms who talk all things money, saving money, making money, and managing your money. And today, you guys, we are talking all about protecting your credit. We're talking all about credit fraud and what you can do to reduce your risk, or if necessary, what you can do to recover from it. Before we jump into the video, please be sure that you are subscribed to my channel if you have not done so already. Trust me, girl, your purse, your wallet, and your bank account will thank you. So as we know, our personal information is stored and submitted electronically over the internet, which means criminals are staying busy trying to steal folks' information so that they can open up new accounts of credit in other people's name. I know, so irritating and super frustrating. And it's like these people ain't got no home training. But credit fraud can occur, right? So you want to be in the know on what signs to look out for any fraudulent activity and how to quickly respond if you feel like your personal information or your personal data is being used and abused. So let's first talk about how fraud can actually happen. Credit fraud or identity fraud can take place in many different forms, but the information that is routinely targeted by criminals is the following. They're looking for your social security number or your SSN. Number 2, they're looking for your driver's license information or any other state-issued ID information. Number 3, they're looking for your credit card, your debit card, or any other related account numbers, including a checking account or a savings account. And lastly, they're looking for passwords to your banking account, passwords to social media, passwords to any other retailers or e-commerce stores that you have your credit card stored in that store's app or on the website. They're looking to hack and get that information as well. So we know with this information, a criminal can open all types of accounts in your name, okay, and really do some damage. Now that we've talked about what information they're trying to get, let's talk a little bit more about how they're trying to get your information. The first way is through phishing scams, okay? This is where criminals act like an authority that you can trust, okay? So they pose to work for this creditor or this bank or this company, okay? And then they trick you into giving them your personal data, your personal information. This can happen over the phone, it can happen via text, it can happen over social media messaging, and it can also happen via email. So always be leery of anyone who contacts you and they're asking for your personal information, okay? So they've reached out to you and they want you to give them your personal information. You always want to be leery of that. What I suggest is get their information on who they're claiming to be, what company do they work for. After you've gotten that information, I would end the communication at that point. Then go onto that company's website, get the proper customer service or the proper contact information for that company and reach out to them. Call them directly so that you know that you are actually speaking to a representative of that company. From there, they may ask for some of your personal information in order to verify that it is you calling in, but they're also able to see, yes, we actually did reach out to you because of X, Y, and Z, or no, we don't show any type of issue on your account. We were not the ones who reached out to you, okay? So they will be able to tell you that information. Always avoid responding to any suspicious messages or clicking on little files and attachments that are in emails. That is an easy way for them to get in and get your information. Second way they're stealing your information is just physical theft, okay? So somebody is stealing your purse, they're stealing your wallet, they've stolen it, they've gotten your wallet with all of your information, your credit card, your debit cards, your ID, maybe your passport was in your purse, whatever. A ton of personal information we tend to carry with us. Now they have access to it, they can pretty much do what they want and go ham with all your information. This one is a little harder to prevent, all right? There's not much that you can do to make sure that someone will steal your stuff, okay? What you can do, however, is have an inventory of what cards you actually have in that wallet or in that purse that was stolen. What this will do allow you to know what companies to contact in order to have them dead your card, and so that the criminal cannot, continue to run up a balance on your credit cards or drain your account using your debit cards. So if that happens to you and someone steals your stuff, contact your bank right away. Contact your credit card holders right away. Get the access to those cards stopped. And the third way that criminals are getting their information is data breaches. So this is where a criminal will hack into a database of a store or a company, and they will get a bunch of data, okay? In large batches, they're stealing people's personal information. And what they do with all this information, they either use it for themselves or they're selling it. They're selling it to other criminals on the black market, and those individuals are then going to use your information. So in the past, you may have been contacted by a company that says that you're a part of a data breach. So many large companies have had this issue. I know I've been contacted several times by several different companies. We won't mention them, but they have had and experienced data breaches. If you were notified by a company that your information was included in a data breach, you may want to consider a fraud alert or doing a credit freeze, or even signing up for a credit monitoring service. And we will talk about all of those a little bit later in the video. If you have learned something so far in this video and you found it helpful, please make sure that you give this video a big thumbs up. It really, really does help me out. So here are some things that you can do to keep your information safe online and try to reduce the risk of being a part of a huge data breach. Safeguarding and protecting your personal information does require that you be vigilant in doing so, okay? You got to keep a careful watch. You got to be watching, okay? Because the criminals, they are always watching. The first thing is to develop good online security habits, okay? Like creating strong passwords, creating unique passwords, and changing them often. I know. Insert eye roll like, yeah. But girl, how much of your personal information are you transferring and transmitting online? If you're using the same password or if you're using weak passwords, it's easy for someone to guess and get a hold of your information. And once they have that in their possession, there is a lot of damage that they can do. I know, it's annoying, right? And it's so challenging to have all these different passwords, all these different accounts. Come up with some kind of tracking system so that you know what password belongs to what account. You can kind of decode it yourself and have it stored somewhere else so that you can refer back to it if you forget the password. But don't be using ABC123 for your passwords, okay? Another thing that you can do is to use two-factor authentication. So that is when you're trying to log into something, let's say maybe Amazon, you have it set up, then they send you a code to your phone or an email, or they'll call you with a specific code. You insert that code and then you're able to continue with your login. So that is another way to try and protect your identity. That way, if somebody else is trying to log into your account, the code is actually coming to your phone or to your email. And that is one way to notify that company that that was not you. And it can also put you on high alert to watch out if there's any other kind of weird kind of activity going on, or you get notification about new accounts in your name. The second thing that you can do is avoid storing your credit card information on stores' site. I know. It's easier for you to just keep it stored in there. You shop there frequently. It's easier to just hit, that credit card that you already have stored in there and hit checkout. I know, I get it. But remember, it's easy for the criminal to access that too, okay? So once they've stolen your login, they got your password to log into your Target account or into your Walmart account, they also have access to your credit card now. And they ain't even really have to work that hard for it because all information is right there. Okay, so go through the hassle, go through the step of putting it in your credit card every single time so that that information is not stored and sitting there waiting for somebody to snatch it, girl. It's just waiting. It's waiting for somebody to come and take it. We don't want that. Also, this tip can help you save a little money too, because if you're bored and you're doing some web browsing and you don't have your credit card stored in the phone and you don't feel like getting up to get it, I'm saving you money, okay? I'm also saving you money because you're not going to buy that stuff that you really don't need. The third thing that you can do is be smart when you are in public, okay? People are always listening, okay? They're always looking. People are nosy, okay? So you want to make sure that if you're giving out any personal information, or you're typing in some kind of personal information and you're in public, you want to make sure that other people can't see what you're doing or they cannot hear what you're doing. Also, avoid public Wi-Fi networks if you're going to be transmitting any of your personal data. Okay, Wi-Fi networks can be less secure. Somebody else can pop on, see exactly what you're inputting, take your information, and run with it. Okay, so we talked about things and habits that you can do to try to safeguard your information. Now let's talk about what to do if, unfortunately, you were a part of a data breach or somehow somebody got access to your information and you are a victim of credit or identity fraud. So let's say that your favorite retailer has informed you that your information is a part of a big data breach. You need to get moving on a couple of things to protect your credit so that the criminals do not start opening up all these different accounts in your name. So there are two primary tools that you can use to do this. The first one is fraud alerts. A fraud alert requests that lenders who view your credit report verify your identity before they process a credit application or before they issue any new credit in your name. It's free, completely free, to set up a fraud alert with all three credit bureaus. So you can set one up with Experian, TransUnion, and Equifax. You can also remove the fraud alert at any time. Okay, so setting up a fraud alert can be a good option for someone who wants to be a little more cautious, who want to have a little more protection over who can access your credit report and open up new accounts in your name. Well, let's say that you'll need to authorize access to your credit at some point, so you don't want to completely freeze your credit out, which is the next option that we'll talk about. A fraud alert may be the best option for you. The second option is a credit freeze. A credit freeze restricts access to your credit file unless you remove the freeze or you thaw the freeze. So with this one, you're blocking all the credit checks, okay? You're blocking any type of credit check that is coming to the Bureau's way, you're blocking it. Even the ones that you're trying to actually apply for. So if you're applying for a new credit card or a new loan, you actually have to go through the process to thaw your credit out before doing so. Setting up a credit freeze is also free to do, and you need to do it with each credit bureau. So TransUnion, Equifax, and Experian again. Unlike fraud alerts, credit freezes stay active indefinitely, okay? Until you decide to remove it or thaw it, you're going to have a credit freeze on your report. Credit freezes are most convenient for users that are not planning on using their credit or pulling credit anytime soon, so likely someone like a retiree. And the last thing that you can do is sign up for a credit monitoring service. So typically most of these are paid. There are a few free options out there, but they will monitor your credit. And if there is activity on your credit of a new account being opened or closed, they will notify you, and then you can take the proper actions at that time. Okay, so 3 options when it comes to you being a part of a data breach, or if you want to go ahead and sign up for these things before it even gets to that point, you can do a fraud alert, a credit freeze, or do credit monitoring. Okay, so that's everything that we're going to talk about today. We talked about how fraud can happen and what to look out for. We talked about what you can do to protect your information online. And thirdly, we talked about things that you can do if you find yourself a victim or if you want to take more precautions. I hope that you found this video helpful and some information that you can share and pass along with other individuals. Share this video with anyone that you think would find it helpful, because we all need to protect our credit. We all have credit, some good, some bad, but you still want to protect it because it's yours. Before you go, please make sure that you subscribe to my channel, hit the little notification bell so you do not miss any future uploads from me. I upload new videos every single weekend that are pertaining to saving you money, making you money, or managing your money. That is it for now. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you, and I will see you in my next video. Happy saving!